父さん母さん今までごめん膝を震わせ親指さぶる兄さん姉さんそれじゃあまたね冴えない靴のかかと潰した見張ったサイズで型紙を取るなんだっていいのさ代わりにならば愛されたいと口をこぼしたもっと丈夫なハサミで皮を切り取るのさ全自然の言葉をほら聞かせてよ飲み添いがいらないとはならないどの近未来そうさ明日の少佐たら許してよ縫い目の隙間を埋めておくれ皆さんさよなら先生お元気で高鳴った胸によだれが垂れる正直もんは何を見る正直もんはバカを見る正直もんは何を見る正直もんはバカを見るあこれじゃまだ足りないよもっと大きなミシンで心貫くのさ全自然の言葉をほら聞かせてよ飲み添いがいらないとはならないどうぞ近未来そうさ明日の少佐たら許してよ縫い目の隙間を埋めておくれもう何もないよ何もないよ引き剥がされて糸くずの海へとこの際棒もそう僕いないよ僕いないよ投げ捨てられて帰ればそうすらどこにもないんだよ存在じゃねえ愛さら嘘だらけの体感じしたよそれしたよ今かいどうも変わらないの変わりたいの何もないこんなの僕じゃない縫い目はほっとけて引きちぎれた見当たって捨て命火を断つ誰だっていいのさ代わりになれば Hello! Hold on. I'm ready. Hello. Don't make this go a little bit. Hello. Hello, Charlie. Hello, mages. Welcome in. Def shouldn't have eaten before stream. I have green tea. I'm gonna try to consume during this, you know? Chicken nuggets carry me through. Nice. Enjoy your chicken nuggies. Amazing song, amazing performance. Thank you, mages. I'm starting to gradually run out of covers to let play that aren't old ones. It's kind of a problem, but it's okay. I love that we're starting streams with some covers. Hello, I'm glad that you like that. Yes, I have decided to switch to that. The only problem is making sure that when I pick a cover, I haven't played it before for intro. And the problem with this is that my singing hasn't been working with me lately. So I'm like, hello everyone. Hey, Stickman. Hello. We are going to be playing some awesome NO UTA today because I was like, okay, I need to get back to this eventually, and you know what? Today's the day because I didn't know what else to do. Is it a problem to reuse covers? I just don't want the people who are here like on time all the time to have to hear the same thing again, you know? That's understandable. I don't think it's a problem, but I understand your idea. Yeah. That way also if you're, you know, I don't know. Until I have actual solid background music for my starting soon screen,
and I have my starting soon screen fully done, this is what we stick with. Variety is key? That can certainly be true. You know what else is key? Sugar in my green tea. Why does this green tea not have sugar? And why is it wet? What? Okay, not the green tea itself. Hold on, I'm adding more sugar to my green tea. Which, I actually have sugar right here, for once in my life. Instead of having to go into the other room. Stay hydrated, will do. I don't know why it's wet. I spilled milk on my bed last night. And water on my desk, which is made of wood. I've not been having the best time with keeping liquids in their place, apparently. They don't really want to stay. Sorry about the mic movement. Just gonna kill you for a second. There we go. There we go. Sorry! The mic had to move so I could grab tissues. I don't know what is going on here. I really don't. You guys stay hydrated as well though, by the way. Okay, there we go. Wait, don't kill us, I'm sorry. It has to be done. No. Anyway, I hope you guys have been doing well today. I'm gonna have another sip of tea. I should probably stir my tea before having a sip of it and deciding, oh, there's not enough sugar when there is in fact enough sugar. Because I'm using white sugar, so it's a little less sweet than like cane sugar, you know? Cane sugar is nice because you don't need as much of it, but white sugar you need a lot more to taste it, you know? How do you guys like your tea? What kind of tea do you guys like, if you like tea? I'm very curious. I want to do a stream at some point where I just drink like every kind of tea that I can find at any store. I may die from overhydration, but it's okay. You know? Never had it, really? You should have it. You should definitely have it. It's very, very good. I need another drink of that, actually. I usually drink chamomile tea when I had it in the house. Yeah, that stuff's really good. Miss Kitty, have fun getting settled in that bag. Anyway, Sayan no Uta! It's Sayan no Uta time, baby! Cinnamon tea is fantastic. It really is. It really, really, really is. With herbs and stuff as well. Okay, start game. I have been tracking myself. I need to, and every time I go to the store, I just don't grab it. Well, you definitely should when you get the chance. Can I go to my main? No, I've gotten used to checking studio mode and all that. I'm telling myself I need to. Okay. Understood. This does have music. Okay, nice. Or chai. Chai is really good. Yeah. But chai also just means tea. So, okay, hold on. Game. Come here. Game. There we go. Okay, we are so back. Now what we're gonna do with the game is set it over here. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm gonna take my model thing. You can tell I was so prepared for this. I was so prepared for today. All right, there we go. This is nice. This is okay. I kind of clip into you guys, but it's okay. No worries, right? No worries. I haven't seen this game. What's it about? Well, you will most certainly see. Now, won't you? Okay, close out of all the things behind it. Okay, so this is Sayan no Uta. Basically, protagonist got into a car crash of some sort, and I think his like family died, and he saw like their like limbs apart and stuff, and like it was really gory. So now he sees gore everywhere he goes. But there's this one girl who he met while he was in the hospital who came to him, who was like, hey, you know, I just wanted to kind of play a prank on you. And he's like, wait, no, you're an actual person, right? So he kind of befriends her, you know, whenever he gets out of the hospital, because he's like, okay, I just need to tell them that I'm doing fine. I need to tell them that I'm doing fine, because people are these big old, like, sludge creature things, sort of. They're really, really nasty and ugly, you know? And so he's like, okay, you know, like, you're not this thing, you know, but, okay, get out of the hospital, convince the, you know, the other people who he's, like, seeing wrong, that, yeah, no, I'm doing okay, my condition is fine, even though it's not, and she lives with him. Now, the thing that we discovered whenever we last played this is that, she is one of those creatures. And this makes things really, really confusing. And the reason that we figured this out is because one of the guy's friends, who he distanced from because they're all like monsters to him, decides to go to his house. And she just kind of walks in and she hears this thing like creaking. Now you switch to Saya's point of view at some point. Or you don't even switch to Saya's point of view. You are in the, like, original character's point of view. And then whenever you're in that original character's point of view, you see Saya eating this, like, green, like, sludge stuff. After knowing that Saya attacked, or, the, you know, like, you know. So, basically, lots of questions, lots of things unanswered. This game is really good at giving you things to ask and then not answering them and then giving you more things to ask and then answering one of them and then just making sure there's always a question that you have to keep you hooked. It's been a bit since we played this. But I'm very excited to get back into it. I haven't seen, what psychological horror game is this? Yeah. So, without further ado, if you're eating, I recommend not eating. I recommend setting your like food to the side or like speed running, maybe click off and then go eat and then come back. Because it is quite literally always gore. Anyway, let's do this. Load. Yes. A medical student relates his shocking experiences. Will you believe him or not? Strange things started happening at this hospital around the end of last spring. It began with patients waking up in the middle of the night screaming. They all spoke of terrifying nightmares, and many of them had to be sedated. Some patients even transferred to other hospitals because of it. The weird thing was that they had all had exactly the same dream. A dream about some horribly disgusting monster staring down at them from their bedside. But the really strange stuff started happening after that. There used to be a lot of stray cats around campus looking for scraps from the students. One day, the cats suddenly disappeared, and it wasn't that they'd stopped coming, it was more like they'd vanished from the area entirely. And then people stopped walking their dogs around. According to rumors, the dogs were refusing to go anywhere near the school. Eventually, things started going missing in the hospital. Organs, to be precise. Transplant organs kept disappearing from storage. People came close to losing their jobs over it. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 times that it happened. They tried to keep it from the students, but we heard it was a lot worse than that. People started saying that there was something living in the hospital. The janitors would find strange messes that could have only been made in the middle of the night, traces of something that had crawled down the hallway, or weird stains caused by something dripping through the ceiling. The late shift nurses talked about hearing strange noises on the same nights that patients woke up screaming. There's one last story, one you can never mention inside the hospital. One day, the obstetrics department, don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, don't know what it is, but we'll stick with that, went crazy. They said that a newborn had disappeared in the night. If that were true, the police would have come and it would have been all over the news, but they say the big shots managed to make it all go away. It was just a rumor, of course. Def, watch the last oh no. Stream after this one, though, I may do that and watch this one for the most attention I can give. Got you. Hold on, let me, Excuse me. Can I not do anything with it? Okay, fine. Fine, chat. If you don't want to expand, you don't have to expand, I guess. I guess I could put you... Where should I put you? You're fine up there. You're fine. No, because there's like text and stuff. But there's text there too. Oh, man. Hold on. Game readjustment. So I can read. You guys. Okay. Expand! We are fine anywhere? No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay. I'm gonna set the game over here, and then I'm gonna set the Ko-Fi Dono goal up here, maybe? Just make it all big up there. There we go. Maybe that's okay. Yeah. And then I will make me big. Big ore. There we go. This is a great layout, isn't it, chat? We are only halfway there. Okay. Let's get back into this. These strange incidents suddenly stopped toward the end of summer. Now there are almost no patients complaining of nightmares, and the cats have started coming back to campus. But still, what happened in the hospital that summer? Even now, just thinking about it gives me the creeps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and we're back. We are so back. ... Nothing. This is the third day in a row that they haven't been able to get in touch with Omi. There's no sign that she returned to her apartment, and even her family doesn't know anything. Her parents have already filed a missing persons report. Well, you know her. She'll probably just pop up somewhere like nothing happened. Oh, she's dead, by the way. I hope so, Yo replies with a gloomy expression. She's worried about Omi, of course, but the incident with Fuminori 3 days ago must still be weighing on her as well. Yo hasn't seen Fuminori since then, and Fuminori hasn't made any effort to approach her or Koji. 4 people used to meet in this cafeteria between classes, but now there are only 2. Oh, yeah. She's the one who got eaten. Hey, Koji. Okay. Let's keep thinking. Isn't there somewhere Omi might have gone? No, Koji answers evasively. I already checked everywhere. It was a lie, of course. Koji knows where Omi planned to go that evening, but he doesn't want to bring Fuminori up in front of Yo. Their awkward silence is mercifully broken by the bell signaling the start of the next period. Well, I've gotta go. Yeah. Unless Koji is mistaken, Yo is supposed to have a class next period too, but she just sits there, staring off into space. Unable to come up with anything to say, he leaves the cafeteria reluctantly. Both Omi's disappearance and Yo's depression worry Koji, and both problems lead back to the exact same place. What is Fuminori doing? When Omi went missing, the first thing he did was question Fuminori. After all, the last time he'd seen her was just before she stormed off to give Fuminori a piece of her mind. Fuminori responded with unequivocal denial, and acted like he hadn't the slightest idea why Omi would have gone to see him. Perhaps that was only natural, as he was unaware that Omi and Koji had witnessed him reduce Yo to tears. Did Omi even make it to Fuminori's house? She had been riding a wave of emotion when she left, and might have calmed down and changed her mind halfway there. Or perhaps she ran into trouble on the way. Koji concluded, or more accurately convinced himself, that one of these possibilities was the truth, subconsciously denying the one remaining possibility, that Fuminori was lying, that he had met Omi and was involved with her disappearance. When questioned by the police, Koji told the truth about Omi's destination only up to the train station, maintaining that he had no idea where she'd planned to go after that. He wanted to cooperate with the search, of course, but Omi couldn't have made it to Fuminori's house. Fuminori said so himself, didn't he? In that case, he told the police everything they needed to know. Not wanting to get the still fragile Fuminori involved, he forced himself to accept this flimsy logic. But the conflict has built up inside of him without his notice, leaving unanswered suspicion to fester in his mind. Koji is deep in thought, paying no attention to his surroundings, but perhaps that is what allows him to catch sight of his friend's back through the crowd of milling students.
Fuminori?
At first, Koji assumes that he's headed to the lecture hall, but it soon appears that he is instead going home. Strange, medical students have required courses in the afternoon. Though he is initially surprised, Koji's hesitation lasts for only a second. He follows his friend, taking care to stay far enough behind that he won't be noticed. Okay, confrontation, let's go. Fuminori wasn't going home, as became obvious when he boarded a train heading in the opposite direction. Koji's next guess was that he was going to see his doctor at the T University Hospital, but Fuminori rode straight through the closest station. Okay.
どこに向かってる?
Where is he going? At first, Koji felt ashamed for telling his friend like this, but his conscience fell silent as Fuminori's actions grew more mysterious. The stranger it gets, the closer Koji feels to discovering the truth behind Fuminori's sudden transformation. Any knowledge would be welcome, no matter how slight. Even Koji is beginning to think that there must be more behind Fuminori's change than the accident alone. He wants a more satisfying answer, one that will help him decide whether Fuminori can still be trusted. Fuminori gets off at a small station in a nondescript suburb of Tokyo. Koji follows, trying not to lose sight of him amid the other disembarking passengers. The area is quite desolate, with only a small bookstore, a convenience store, and a market in front of the train station. It is easy for Koji to keep Fuminori in view. This neighborhood was carved out of the Fuji foothills, and here and there remain steep inclines and wooded areas that escaped assimilation. Koji is amazed that such a quiet place exists less than an hour out of central Tokyo. Fuminori seems to know these streets. He moves quickly and purposefully through the suburban community, his eyes fixed straight ahead. Before long, Fuminori reaches a house. Without ringing the bell or even knocking, he opens the door and vanishes inside, leaving Koji to wonder how Fuminori can treat the house as his own. After waiting to see if Fuminori comes back out, Koji approaches the gate and checks the nameplate. Ogai, it reads. Koji has never heard of anyone by that name among Fuminori's acquaintances. Next, his attention is drawn to the thick wad of leaflets sticking out of the mail slot. This, coupled with the general dilapidated feel of the place, suggests that it has been abandoned for some time. I think Ogai is the name of the, Saya's, the family name of, Saya's, father and all that? Maybe? Possibly? They might have just... I remember some stuff about being okay, I'll find your father and all that, at whatever cost, right? But I think it might have been Ogai? So that might be where he is right now? That might be this location? A small playground about 2 blocks away provides an adequate vantage point from which to watch the front of the Ogai home. Fortunately, it does not appear to be the sort of house that has a rear exit. I wouldn't know, so are we Fuminori? We are... The main character is Fuminori. Yeah, right now we're in the perspective of somebody else tailing him. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. It will become very apparent. It will become very apparent when we are Fuminori. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Koji settles down on a bench to begin his stakeout. I should have brought more smokes. Fair enough. 1 hour passes and then another, but there remains no sign of movement around the Ogai residence. Soon twilight settles upon the neighborhood. After Koji's 1 pack of cigarettes runs out, the stakeout becomes a battle against mounting impatience. He kills time by redialing Omi on his cell and sending her short text messages, but his efforts are futile, as he knew they would be. And Fuminori got the gory vision? Yes. When the sky begins to turn deep blue and the streetlights come on, Fuminori finally emerges from the house and heads back toward the station with the same hurried stride. After some brief consideration, Koji decides that right now, investigating the house is more important than tailing Fuminori. He rings the doorbell just to make sure. After receiving the expected silence in response, he checks to make sure no one is watching and turns the doorknob. The door is not locked. Right! The moment he enters the house, stale air, thick with mold and dust, fills Koji's nostrils. It is the unmistakable smell of a house that has long lain untouched. There is also a faint hint of something else in the air, something reminiscent of damp sewers and fetid cisterns. Flipping the light switch does nothing. The power must be cut off. Koji uses his cigarette lighter to illuminate the immediate area. In the thick dust covering the floor, he sees several brand new trails of footprints that could have only been made by shoes, Fuminori's. Koji decides to follow suit and dispense with courtesy. He enters with his shoes on. The lighter's flickering flame pushes back the deathly silence and gloom of the house. Koji is surprised to see evidence of life remaining. Everything from furniture to tableware and appliances. Nothing seems to be missing. Oh, Koji gonna figure out and find out? Yup. The thickness of the dust suggests that the house has been empty for several months, which means that the owner must have left with little more than the clothes on his back. Could he have gone on a long vacation? The calendar in the den is still turned to April, empty and silent, yet still exhibiting signs of the life that was once lived here. That was once lived there. The house reminds Koji of a passenger ship. I need a sip of tea. I can't read. Of a passenger ship entombed at the bottom of the sea. In the graveyard-like quiet, a sinister thought suddenly enters his mind. No one is living here, but that does not have to mean that the owner left. Maybe he was murdered and his rotting corpse is right under Koji's feet. He finds himself wanting a stronger light. A flashlight in his hand would make him feel much better. Sipping sip, yep. Koji follows Fuminori's footsteps to the second floor, where he begins to catch the scent of paper in the stale air. It is the smell of old books, instantly recognizable to anyone who has worked in an antique bookstore or library. Did you ever just, if you had... Well, okay, new books have a certain smell to them. But whenever you were, whenever you would read books, did you ever just kind of, enjoy the scent of a new book? Old books don't have as much of a smell, but new books do, and it's always really interesting. The first room on the second floor turns out to be a study, its towering shelves packed with such a vast number of books that Koji fears for the stability of the floor. As a medical student himself, he is able to discern at a glance that this study belongs to a medical professional, and a high-level one at that. I think Ogai is the name then of Saya's, Yeah, that new book smell is peak. It is! New book smell is good. Old books do have their own moldy smell. I love it. Yeah! Judging by the content of the books, a smorgasbord of technical volumes far beyond a simple student's understanding, the owner's interests lie more with medical research than with clinical practice. Fuminori must have spent most of his time here. The scattered dust suggests that he was searching for something, and the contents of the desk drawers are in obvious disarray. A small pile of books stacked on the side table catches his eye. Being next to the desk, they must have been the most frequently read. Their nature could shed some light on the character of the person who worked here. Koji frowns as he examines the 3 books. These aren't scientific texts like the rest, but old, leather-bound Western tomes like the sort you would find in a rare bookstore. The titles are meaningless to him. Trait de chiffre appears to certain semiotics. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. But Magna Ultima. What language is this? I default to trying to read it in French, but I'm pretty sure it's not French. It's some kind of treatise on divination. And then there's the Voyic manuscript, which looks like some sort of picture book. When he pages through it, he finds the text utterly incomprehensible. Maybe it's some kind of cipher. Latin, got you. Got you. Interesting. Whatever they are, they clearly have nothing to do with medicine, refuting Koji's earlier guess that this old guy was a doctor. Looking down, Koji suddenly notices the glint of something black and metallic underneath the chair. A pocket-sized flashlight, quite out of place among all these dusty books. Fuminori must have brought it in. With relief, Koji exchanges his lighter for the flashlight. Its tiny body emits a powerful white beam that casts away the darkness. His courage restored, he decides to explore the rest of the house. Koji notices something strange, something that was not visible in the lighter's weak flame. The slime. Dark, oily stains everywhere. The stains are especially thick around the doorknobs and stair banisters, like someone grasped them with hands wrapped in greasy cloth. Looking closer, he sees places where slime was splashed low on the walls, almost as if a wet mop was run violently across the floor. Could Ogai have made these marks? If so, how? Koji begins to feel sick as he imagines a man shambling through the house with slime dripping from his body. Finding the bedroom next to the study, Koji checks the closet on a hunch. he discovers 2 empty suitcases, not what one would leave behind when going on a long vacation. A sudden chill runs through him. Whoever was living here is still somewhere inside the house. Suppressing the urge to flee, Koji goes back downstairs to check the first floor. If he finds a corpse, he'll have to call the police right away. He might get away with trespassing if he reports it first, but if they find the body later, it'll be awfully hard to explain his fingerprints all over the house. The flashlight reveals the den to be covered in even more slime than the rest of the house. The sofa looks as though it was dredged from the bottom of a swamp. In the kitchen, Koji takes one look at the sink and decides not to get any closer. He doesn't want any more fuel for his imagination. He reaches the door to the bathroom. A common scene from TV dramas flashes through his head, a body with slit wrists floating in a bathtub full of water. And wasn't there a movie where a hitman disposes of his victim in a bathtub filled with lye? Koji braces himself for the worst and opens the door slowly, then shines his light into the way to kill the atmosphere, ceramic bathtub that appears from the that appears from the darkness like a white ghost. Bones. A mountain of bones, black with dry flesh and blood. Koji puts one hand against the wall to steady himself as his legs threaten to buckle. Something's wrong. He realizes as he tries desperately to get his thoughts in order. The bones are too small and there are too many of them. They aren't human. After taking several deep breaths to calm himself, Koji enters the bathroom and examines the tub. The bones are piled atop each other like fallen leaves. They appear to be from small animals, perhaps cats or dogs. Good morning! Hello, Ren! Good morning! I hope that you had a nice rest. Even so, the quantity is mind-boggling. How many bodies would it take to produce this many bones? The bones have all been separated from one another, so it doesn't look like bodies were just thrown into the tub and left to rot. Each bone is covered with deep grooves, marks left by teeth biting through flesh. Koji's sanity won't let him consider the possibility that a human could have done this. The owner of this house must have kept some sort of carnivorous animal as a pet, giving it the bones of small animals to eat and disposing of the remains in the bathtub. But why not dispose of the leftovers properly? They could have just been thrown out with the garbage, or was there something keeping him from leaving the house? The relief Koji felt when he realized that the bones weren't human is once again under attack. In the first place, what was Fuminori doing here?
どうした、コウジ?
Ha! Love Renee the narrator, I'm immersed. Thank you. What's wrong, Koji? Koji whirls around, his light revealing Fuminori's expressionless face. You're trespassing. Caught, indeed. So are you, Koji replies, barely managing to speak over the pounding of his heart. Fuminori pushes past Koji and looks into the bathtub. He doesn't even flinch at the sight of the bones. Oh? A friend of mine lives here. I'm just running an errand. What? Who is this person? Where did you meet them? Koji doesn't want to believe that the old, friendly Fuminori could have had contact with the denizens of this house. I'll introduce you one of these days, he says, turning to leave without even a glance at Koji. I owe her my life. Hey, Fuminori! Koji runs after Fuminori. His heart is finally beating normally again. Wait, is this friend of yours the reason you've been acting so strange? Standing in the entrance, Fuminori stares coldly at Koji over his shoulder. The utter lack of emotion in his eyes gives Koji pause. You followed me, didn't you? Koji swallows. What can he
そうい
say?
うのは迷惑だ。二度とやらないでもらいたい。
You're starting to bother me, Koji. Don't do it again.
あ
Fine. Fuminori walks away without another word, leaving Koji alone in the entrance. Up until this very moment, concern for his friend was still at the forefront of his mind. Now, however, that concern is swiftly giving way to a growing sense of dread. Does the Fuminori he knew no longer exist? Was the person who just stared Koji down an imposter wearing Fuminori's skin? Koji has begun to believe that it might be so. Oh, everyone's saying hi. Now we are Fuminori! I was about to... I'm gonna drink some more of my tea before I become so nauseous that I can't anymore. Okay, all of my tea has been drank. I'm gonna follow it down with some water and then continue on. This game is a clear example of what a man is capable just to get some. Excuse me. Hello, Rio. Welcome in. Now, oh boy, let's see this perspective. Oh yeah. What a nuisance. Why does he insist on interfering? If he only spoke with me to exchange pleasantries, even I could bear it. But now he's sticking his nose into my business just to satisfy his curiosity. Koji is a perfect example of someone who thinks that it's always good to take an interest in other people's affairs. He probably thinks that he's doing me a favor by prying into my life. He couldn't be more wrong. If he keeps this up, I might have to find some way to deal with him. Like Saya said, I have to keep up my search for Dr. Ogai a secret. Okay, so the name was correct. Okay, Koji could ruin everything. I didn't have time to fully investigate the Ogai residence today. At this rate, it will probably take several days just to go through the study. Saya didn't believe that I'd find anything to help with the search, but I think there's still a lot to explore. Who knows what I'll discover? The problem is Koji. He knows about the house now. Will he make things difficult? Excuse me, a hair-raising voice calls as I'm about to pass through my gate. Suppressing a shudder, I put on a fake smile and turn to face the writhing mass of rotten flesh that is staring at me with bulging eyes. Good evening. Are you just getting home? Yes, I am. Of course. This is my next-door neighbor, Suzumi. A middle-aged painter, I think, who spends all day at home while his wife works. I haven't had much contact with him since the accident. Why is he suddenly talking to me now? Have you gotten used to living alone? Good evening, pile of flesh, yes. Yes, thank you for your help. I know it must be very difficult, but you're still young. You have to try to move on with your life. Yeah. What is this? Did he stop me just to deliver a lecture? With such a big house, it must be hard to take care of everything by yourself. Yes, I suppose it is rather difficult. Why not hire a caretaker? Didn't your father have one? I'm still a student. I can't really afford the expense. I see. The flesh beast undulates foully, as though it still has something to say. The sight of it is driving me close to the edge. Even so, don't you think you should at least tend to your yard? I'd be happy to help. No, thank you. I'll manage on my own. Somebody really read Lovecraft and said I can make a visual novel out of this. This game is, I think it's pretty old. Hold on. Saya no Uta release. This came out in 2003. So, yeah. Hello, Pana. What is happening right now? Welcome in, Vei. Saya no Uta. That is what's happening right now. A whole lot of gore, apparently. It's 2003. Yeah, hi, Fenny. Hello. Sometimes you guys pop out of nowhere. Love you guys. Thank you. Yeah, 2003. Now I get it. He's worried that the unsightly... What? It was early 2000s? What is a Saya no Uta? It is a game. Early 2000s, yeah. Now I get it. He's worried that the unsightliness of my house might diminish the image of his own. Snob. I flash a token smile, then retreat behind the safety of my gate. I can feel Suzumi's eyes boring into my back all the way to the front door. Why won't everyone stay out of my life? I just want to live together with Saya, alone where no one will ever bother us. A game indeed, yes. Suzumi Yosuke sighs in annoyance as he watches the neighbor boy retreat into his house. What's with that attitude? Even while talking, he kept his eyes averted, as if to avoid looking at something repulsive. Has he always been such an unpleasant young man? No, of course not. When his parents were still alive, he had been a normal youth, a little shy, but sensitive and caring. It must be the stress of his sad situation. If it continues to build, he might start to develop serious mental problems. You don't say! Or is it too late already? Yosuke wonders as he gazes wearily at the Sakisaka yard. The soundtrack in this game always gives this vibe of constant dread. Honestly, it's a really good soundtrack. It's very nice. Very, very nice. I enjoy this. Oh, even during dinner, Yosuke can't shake the neighboring house from his mind.
どうしたのあなた難しそうな顔して
What's wrong, honey? You look like something's bothering you.
今日ね、隣の家の息子に会ったよ。
Yeah, I saw the young man from next door today.
隣のってみ
Fuminori?
のりお兄ちゃん
Aww,
ああ、庭のこと一言言っておい
that's
た
so。cute. I just had to say something about his yard.
そうよねせめてあの匂いだけはどうにかしてもらいたいわよね
I know. I wish he'd at least do something about that smell. The stink coming from the Sakisaka house grows worse each day, and the Suzumi family is at its wit's
あの
end.
草むらの中に
Oh.
死んだ猫でもいるんじゃないかしら
Could there be a dead
でも
cat in his
住んでて
bushes?
気づかないのかしらねあの匂いに
He must notice the smell coming from his
ま
own
さか
yard.
とは思うが、生ゴミをそのまま庭に捨てているんじゃあるまいな。
Maybe he's leaving his garbage out there.
いくらなんでもそこまで
He wouldn't.
いや、今の様子だとやりかねん。一日中ずっと雨戸を閉め切って。
Yosuke, my guy, mind your own business for your own good. Exactly. Please, just stay in your space. I know it stinks. I know it stinks. Put up with it temporarily. Don't get involved, and you will stay safe. No, I wouldn't put it past him. Who knows what he's doing in there all day with the storm shutters closed? What kind of life is he
お兄
leading?
ちゃん頭おかしくなっちゃったのかな
Did he go
おい
crazy?
ヒロミそういう言い方はダメよ
True nosy neighbors, yeah. Now, Hiromi, you mustn't say things like
い
that.
や、あれは本当にちょっと多すぎてる。
Just a dead cat, surely,
分 析
surely.
が何かかもしれ
I
ん
don't know
な。
how I feel about dead cats. Honestly, with the way things are going, I'm starting to wonder if he's gone paranoid or
大丈夫
something.
なのそれ
Will he be alright?
早く自覚して医者にでも行ってもらわんことには。
Unless he gets help soon, who knows? If I smelled a strange smell coming from my neighbor's house, I would not want to get involved. Yeah. The seconds crawl by, each tick of the clock compounding my agony. When I returned from the Okai residence, I was greeted by a silent, empty home. Saya had vanished without leaving any clue as to her whereabouts. Isn't it rare for her to go for walks at night? It isn't rare for her to go for walks at night. I've often gone with her. However, such outings always take place in the middle of the night, when no one is around, and never last for more than 2 hours. Right now, it's 5 in the morning. Soon the sky will begin to show the first light of dawn. Even if she left right before I returned, she's still been gone for almost half a day. I can't sleep. I can only wait in anguish. I tried to distract myself by painting more rooms, but I couldn't concentrate on the work. If I had known this would happen, I would have left the old guy house sooner. I wish I hadn't wasted time on Koji. Even less if I wouldn't want to get involved with my neighbors, no matter the reason. Yeah, even less if I smell something rotting. True. Depends on the neighbor. I'll check on the ones I'm close to. Yeah, I kind of think if you do end up like developing a like friendly acquaintance with your neighbor and you're worried about them, having a simple drop by like, oh hey, you doing okay? Isn't like I don't know. I don't see it as a problem. But if you don't have that, it is kind of weird. In their case, to be fair, you know, they did have like a history and all that, but it's still kind of rude, you know, especially with all of that happening. You know, you especially wouldn't just go up and lecture, you know? Anyway, Saya doesn't return. The thought makes me want to tear out my hair. After its long absence, the terror of true loneliness is too much to bear. At last, the cowbell... Aww! The cowbell chimes, and Saya's long-awaited "I'm home" rings out from the bottom of the stairs. As I jump out of my bed in relief, all of the stress that has built up through the night is released in a wave that threatens to sweep me off my feet. Aww. So tired! Saya sighs as she climbs the stairs. I knew the trip would be hard.
さや、一体どこに？
Saya, where have you... My question trails off as I notice the thick bundles of paper that she's carrying under her arms. Oh, what are those?
文則のカルテとか
Oh,
手術の記録。今日は古巣の病院に行ってきたの。
your medical charts and surgery records. I went back to the hospital today. Saya drops her bundles on the floor, sending paper flying everywhere, then pulls her favorite cushion over and collapses onto it, stretching luxuriously.
こんな夜中に T 台から歩いて戻ってきたのか。
You walked all the way back from the hospital in the middle of the night?
ごめんね。
Sorry.
帰れると思ってたんだけど、
she...
調べ出したらキリがなくて。
Okay. She says, skillfully gathering the scattered papers together. I meant to come back sooner, but there were so many files to go through.
結局全部持ち出してきちゃった。重かった。
So I decided to just bring everything. It was so heavy. Maybe it's just the exhaustion, but I'm not understanding a word Saya's saying.
だから、そんなもの持ってきてどうするつもりなんだ？
What are you planning to do with all this?
どうするって、もちろん調べるのよ。うちで時間かけてじっくり。
What do you mean? I'm going to study it, of course, she replies, holding one MRI photograph after another up to the light. I'll have plenty of time to go over it here. At first, I think she's just playing around, but the occasional mutters of, better check this one.
これは要チェックかな。
Hush. Saya? Saya, I'm trying to read. Saya?
なんだかな。
You're gonna... Okay, thank you. Better check this one. Oh, I see. Well, that was silly of them. And the like as she separates photos into a growing pile beside her makes me think that this might not be a joke after all. The security of that hospital sucks. It truly does. Saya, I love you. Saya, I'm trying to read. Saya?
わかるのか？
Do you understand this stuff? Silence, child. Yes.
パパにいろいろと教わったから。
I learned a lot from Dad. She flashes me a grin, then returns to the papers.
そういうこと。
So that's how it
これ
is.
じゃいつまで経っても直せないよね。
No wonder it can't be fixed.
直せないのか？
It can.
人間のお医者さんじゃん。
Oh?
ね。
Not by a human doctor. I can't tell if she's being serious.
私でも
お
まだちょっと難しいかな。 いろいろと試してからでないと。
Experiment with what? Even for me, it'll probably be tough, she says offhandedly, even as her hands continue to shuffle papers. I'll have to experiment first. Watching more closely, I realize that her eyes are scanning each page rapidly. So rapidly, in fact, that I was unable to notice it at first. What? Go back. Okay. Putterine, hi! Hello, Splash. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. We are Saya no utaing. Utaimasu wa. Could Saya actually be reading my charts?
なあ、さや。
Hey, Saya. Yeah, she answers coolly, looking up from the charts.
今日はもう疲れたし。
お
寝ないか？
I'm tired. Let's go to bed.
文則がそうしたいならそうする。
Oh, sure, Saya replies with a grin, if that's what you want. Saya tosses aside the paper she was sorting, then leaps on me and begins to tear off my clothes.
Oh, boy.
Huh? Wait, no. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up. Hey.
寝る前に一回だけ。ね、いいでしょ？
Huh? Saya, you haven't pulled this before. What are you doing? What are you talking about? What are you doing? Chat, I think this is fine. I think it should be fine. Come on, just once before I can't even read. Come on, just once before bed, okay?
マサヤ
Uh,
を毎日続けてじゃ
every
体に毒じゃないのか
Guys. Hey, Saya, don't you think it's unhealthy to be doing this every day?
ふみのり、どこか具合が悪いの？
Huh? Are you sick?
いや僕は別に
Imagine
ちゃんと大人の体になって
the statement,
平気なんだ
right?
でもサヤはまだ
No, not me. My body is all grown up, but you're.
平気だよ。
Wait, no, wait. I don't like that. Oh no. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the implication that sentence just gave. Fuminori, can you explain yourself, please? Please. I don't want to think you're a pedophile. I really don't, but that sentence isn't very excusable. Hold on, I need to catch up with chat. Am I the only one that noticed the previous CJ of them in bed had them naked and Saya said she was eating children in the last stream? Well, yeah, that's what happened. They're clearly gonna build Legos in bed, right? Wait, whoa, I think he might be. Don't worry. She laughs playfully as she... She laughs playfully as she put... Game. I have some bones to pick with you, and not the ones that were in the bathtub earlier. She laughs playfully as okay. As she pushes me onto the bed, the familiar sweet sensation of her weight and skin rendering me helpless. Well, I'm uncomfortable.
今まで否認もしてないってのに
But I'm worried. We haven't used any contraception.
ふみのりはさ、さやに子供を産ませるの。
Oh, how is this needed? This doesn't need to be. It does not need to be. We didn't need this. This wasn't needed at all. Fuminori, she whispers, staring straight into my eyes. You don't want me to have your children. How can I respond to that?
何も
It's
サヤみたいな小さい体じゃ無理だ
familiar?
母体の負担ってのは大変なんだぞ
It's not that. Your body's too small. Pregnancy is a serious burden, you know? That's not really something you have to worry
心配してる
about.
ことって割と的外れなんだけど。
Saya seems unsure how to reply, but not because she doesn't understand what I said. Rather, the bemused look on her face makes it seem as though I'm the one not getting it.
でもそれってふみのりがさやのことを大事に思ってくれてるからなんだよね。それはそれで嬉しい。
But I know you're just thinking of me, she says suddenly, her smile glowing with innocence. So I'm happy. Okay, we can do it, chat. We can do it together. We can do it. I'm not using my narrator voice for this. I can't use my narrator voice for this. Stream cancel, yeah. Truly persevere, okay. By the time I bring the spell of her angelic smile, Saya has undone my belt and is removing my pants.
なあおいだからサヤ
Okay, come on, Saya.
大丈夫。じゃあ今夜は心配しないような方法でしてあげる。
Maybe it won't be bad. Maybe it'll skip. Maybe stream won't get won't have to get taken down. There was low-key signs of this happening, but I had hope. You did enable the sensor, right? There's... No, don't quit the game. Don't quit the game. How do I save? How to save? Saya no uta. How do I save? Okay, 2 or more buttons. The second, usually the right button, is used to open the menu in this game. Okay. I can save this. Open save load menu. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna save in this slot, yes. And then I'm gonna exit and I'm gonna make sure. If you get interrupted, please, anything must happen. Don't worry, guys, it's just a flesh monster that looks like a tiny girl. Okay, I'll return to title screen. Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna check config. Okay, there's just grotesque CGs. Just that. So we should be good. Should. There's not a patch for this, is there? If there's a patch, I could imagine this being like a thing. No, what the heck? In the base game, I am covering all my. Okay, so we're fine. We should be fine. Should be fine. Exit. Okay. It's alright. We're fine. We're okay. Load. There we go. This is the time when covering all the bases is the right choice. Yes. Load save file. Back to hell. Relax. I don't want to voice act this. Relax. She says teasingly. Oh, tonight I'll do it so you don't have to worry. Ooh, just made my intro plus, so something like this was expected. Okay, got you. She looks up at me, smiling like she just pulled the greatest prank of her life. See, you don't have to worry if I do it like this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what do you say? What am I supposed to say to that? What do you say? Right. Game! We're just gonna skip that. Hearing the sound of nervousness in Saya's voice, I hastily stammer. I think Saya can handle the voice acting on this one. I agree. But Saya, you didn't have to do that. Suddenly distraught, Saya clings to me like a child who's just had her candy stolen. What is this game? Why did I decide to do this game? Why? The flesh monsters have their needs, apparently. Why would the game describe it like that? Why does it do that? So Saya really does want to bear my child. I'm not a... Why? Oh. This is fine. I'm fine. I'm so chill. There isn't much point in worrying about my reputation now. Assuming that Saya and I will be left alone, I even welcome it. You don't like it? She gazes up at me pleadingly. Saya smiles with relief and burrows contentedly into my chest. you, bro, she purrs softly. With her body draped over her mind, I've become even more aware of how light and delicate she is. Can this tiny girl and I really live as— oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. I feel a pang of self-loathing at the question. How can I still be afraid after all that's happened? Saya's feelings are so earnest. How can I not accept them? This feels very predatory. It's not predatory, but it feels very predatory. It has the taste of predator in it, and I don't like it. It's very bitter. I need to resolve once and for all to rid myself of the useless trappings of morality. Saya and I are all that matters. There's no point in worrying about what others think anymore, though I suppose I should still talk to Saya's guardian. Don't talk like that after— I need to find Dr. Oga as soon as possible. You do. Please focus on your research and not, whatever this is. By the time I drift asleep in exhaustion's comforting embrace, all doubts about Saya's actions have vanished from my mind. Whatever the case, all that matters is that she's returned to me. I wish I had green tea right now. 2 o'clock. For Suzumi Yosuke, this is the most fulfilling time of day. After seeing his wife and daughter off— oh right, this guy— taking care of the morning chores and eating a leisurely lunch, it's finally time to sit down at his easel. Is it over? It seems to be over. One of the stories of all time. We pulled through, we pulled through and apparently did not pull out. He's not a particularly popular painter, and he would only hold an exhibition if he were hurting for money. However, the design work he does on the side ensures that there's always enough to support his lifestyle. Alongside the salary his wife earns working for a magazine, they're able to pay for their mortgage, send their daughter to school, and still have plenty left over. Yosuke's life is perfect. Leisurely and absent of want. He loves his house, considering it the symbol of his success. When he mows the lawn, polishes the windows and floors, and cleans the kitchen, toilet, and bath, he feels the same joy as he does when washing his own body. What? Wait, hold on. Wait, no, I wasn't really focused when I read that. What does that mean? Okay, whatever. Just as he knows the length of his fingernails and the time since his last meal, he also knows everything about this home's condition, the status of every floor, the freshness of every flower, the amount of ice in the ice tray, every last detail. This is his pride, and even when he sits in his studio, smelling the turpentine and knowing that each element of his house is in perfect order, he feels the ultimate satisfaction. You know what? That's why he's mad about his neighbor. This guy never leaves home! Oh, wait, so shouldn't he not? Whatever. While trying to find the right combination of paints on his palette, he suddenly feels thirsty, but soon remembers that there isn't much orange juice left in the refrigerator. In fact, it's also about time to stock up on bath additive and powdered soap. He could get everything at the supermarket when he goes to shop for dinner, but it will probably be quite heavy. Well, okay. Let's go. Now then, where should I leave off to go shopping? As he ponders this dilemma, he heads downstairs to the kitchen. Just then, a breath of air tickles the back of his neck, bringing him to a halt in the middle of the hallway. A breeze? Impossible. Every window in the house is closed. Yosuke shut them himself during his morning cleaning. Saya? Saya? Yosuke enters the living room, searching for the source of the breeze. Something stinks. Saya! It's the same pungent smell of fetid swampland that emanates from the Sakisaka house. The window facing the yard next door is open, its curtains billowing loosely in the gentle breeze. There's a hole in the glass next to the lock. It looks strange, like it was melted by some chemical instead of broken. Someone must have reached through the hole to unlock the window. Yosuke stands paralyzed, his heart pounding with anger and fear. He listens carefully but hears nothing. Perhaps the intruder has already finished his business and left, but a burglar wouldn't have left the room untouched, would he? Maybe he heard Yosuke coming and hid somewhere nearby. Yosuke realizes that his still wet palette knife is in his right hand. He must have forgotten to put it aside before going downstairs. He stares numbly at the knife for a moment, then decides that it's not enough protection. Get a gun! Oh, okay. Instead, he grabs the ashtray sitting on top of the table. Made of thick, solid glass, it is big and heavy enough to serve as a weapon. The home that he thought of as part of himself now seems utterly alien. Keenly aware of the thumping of his heart, Yosuke looks around the living room and sees little that could be used as a hiding place. The intruder must have gone either to the guest room or through the dining room to the kitchen. The kitchen is close to the stairs. If there had been movement, Yosuke would have noticed it when he came down, which means that the guest room is the most likely place. He shuffles over to the guest room door and prepares to slide it open. But what is that stench? Could the breeze alone carry something so foul? It's as if the odor is coming from inside the room. He readies his ashtray and throws open the door. The straw-matted Japanese-style room is empty. There is a closet, but no one could fit in there. So the intruder already left. Yosuke relaxes, the exhaustion of sudden relief coming over him. And that is when something seizes his ankle. Saya! The instant he freezes in shock, his leg is yanked out from under him, sending him crashing to the floor. Stars explode behind his eyes as his head smacks against the door rail. The hand, if it can even be called that, wrapped around Yosuke's ankle extends all the way back to beneath the living room sofa. There are barely 5 centimeters beneath the sofa and the floor. Whatever is hiding there can't possibly be human. That's how I felt earlier. Before the screaming Yosuke can regain his footing, countless hand-like appendages seize his arms and legs, rendering him helpless. Calm down, don't be scared! As the hideous voice burbles in his ear, something cold and soft crawls atop him. Yosuke can't even scream, his terror is so great. I'm pretty sure he just did, though. It won't hurt, don't be scared, it won't hurt! Thin, tube-like appendages penetrate his ears and nose, wriggling deep into his skull. Right before the sensation drives him mad, Yosuke loses consciousness. What did it hurt, though? No? Okay. Apparently, if it did, not for long. Sorry. No, I wasn't. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to see us, Koji says, his humble bow concealing his surprise at the doctor's youth. Even without her light makeup, she wouldn't look a day over 30. She must be quite talented to be a leading neurosurgeon at such a young age. Sorry. I forget you guys can see my facial expression. Don't mention it. I was hoping somebody like you would come along. Her friendly smile has none of the coldness one might expect from her sharp, refined beauty. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Tambo, Sakisaka Fuminori's attending physician. This I can handle. That scene can't. Yeah. I'm Fuminori's friend, Tono Koji. This is Tsukuba Yo. Yo gives a quick bow, her expression apologetic. When they arrived at the T University Medical Center and asked to see Fuminori's doctor, Koji and Yo had been prepared for rejection. They hadn't expected the ease with which their request was granted. You say you want to know what's wrong with him. Well, so do I. I'm sorry? He didn't come in for his checkup 2 days ago. I tried calling his home, but there was no answer. 2 days ago, the same day Fuminori was searching that abandoned house, Koji frowns, wondering what was important enough for him to blow off his appointment. What is he like at school? He's totally messed up. Seeing Yo's shoulders jerk out of the corner of his eye, Koji regrets not choosing his words more carefully. Since the accident, he's been like a completely different person. We have no idea what to do, so we thought that talking to you might help. Are you medical students too? She asks out of nowhere. Huh? Well, yes. Would you like to see his chart? You'd really show it to us, Koji replies, incredulous. Dr. Tambo regards him silently for a moment, then sighs and says, Someone wanted to see it, and without the hospital's
おとといの
permission.
晩この病院に誰かが押し入ってね保管庫から
Oh,
咲坂君の
right,
ファイル
right,
を
right,
盗んでい
Saya.
ったの
His files were stolen from the archives 2 nights
どう
ago.
ですか？
What? She stares hard at the astonished students, then shakes her head with a tired smile.
あなたたちは無関係そうねちょっと安心したわ
Well, it doesn't look like you two are involved. That's a
当
relief.
たり前です。
Of course we aren't!
でも犯人は咲坂君の容体に興味があるか
However, the
それとも
culprit must have had an
彼の
interest
治
in
療
his
記録を消
condition,
したかったのか
or wanted to erase his
いずれに
records.
せよ彼に関わりのある人間としか思えないわ
Either way, I can only assume that it was someone close to him.
は
I see. An ominous thought flashes through Koji's mind. It couldn't have been Fuminori himself, could it? Koji looks at Dr. Tambo and finds her staring straight back at him, her expression grave. He realizes that she must be harboring the same suspicion. Oh, wait. Let's start everything
あ
else.
なたには他に心
But
当た
why
り
would
は
they
ない
want that?
咲
I
坂君の知り合いで
don't know.
そういうことをやりかねないような人
What do you think? Do you have any idea who might have done it? Perhaps Dr. Tambo didn't have anyone in mind when she asked, but Koji's thoughts immediately fly to that eerie house to which Fuminori led him.
知り合いだか何なのか 自分にもよくわからないんですが多分医者か医学関係の人で王外っていう
I don't really know what their relationship is, but there's someone called Olgai, probably a doctor or a... Koji stops speaking as he sees the dramatic change that has come across Dr. Tambo's expression.
ご存知なんですか
You know Dr. Olgai?
咲坂君がその男といつどうやって知り合ったのかわかる
Do you know when and where Fuminori met that
い
man?
えこっちが知りたいぐらいです
No, that's what I'd like to know.
先生
Just who is
一
this
体何者
Olgai?
なんですかあの
I
王外っていう人は
accidentally ended up tangled. Never mind. Headphone cord not tangled. After remaining silent for some time, Dr. Tambo looses a heavy sigh.
いいわその気になれば
All
簡
right,
単に
it's
調
not
べが
like you
つくこ
couldn't
とだ
find
し
out on your own.
大
Ogai
貝
Masahiko.
正彦はうちの大学にいた教授よ
Ogai Masahiko was a doctor teaching at this
いろいろと不
hospital.
祥事があって
He was dismissed over 6 months
半年以上
ago,
前に
however,
免職になった
following certain incidents.
不祥事って
What incidents?
一体何を
What did he do?
そこから先は部外者
I
に
can't
話せ
say
ることじゃ
anymore.
ないわ
And anyway, it has nothing to
ど
do
の
with
道
your friend.
咲坂君には何の関係もないことよ
Koji has no argument with which to answer Dr. Tambo's flat rejection. However, he can't shake the feeling that this Ogai person is the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding Fuminori.
先生
Right?
もしかしたら咲坂文則は
Oh,
刑事事件に関わっているかもしれないんです
buddy. Doctor, he says, making up his mind, Fuminori might be involved in a crime. At this sudden declaration, both Yo and Dr. Tambo raise their
どういうこと
eyebrows. What do you
彼を
mean?
訪ねていったっきり行方不明になってしまった人間がいますもちろん文則は否定していますが
A friend of ours went missing after going to see him. Fuminori denies any involvement, of course.
それって
You mean
おみ
Omi?
ちゃんのこと
Koji is unable to bear the shock in Yo's voice.
つかば
Sorry, Tsukaba, I couldn't tell
君に
you.
は言えなかった
Dr. Tambo is frowning, her expression even more
そ
serious
の
than
王
before.
外という人物が
Right now, this
今
Ogai
文則の
seems to be
関
the
心の焦
center
点
of
になっているら
Fuminori's
しいんです
attention.
彼が何者で
If
文
we
則
know
が彼
who
の
he
何に
is
つい
and
て
what
探っている
Fuminori's
のか
looking for, we might start to
それ
see
が
the
分か
whole
れ
picture.
ばお願いです先生教えてくだ
Please
さい
tell us, Doctor, just what happened at
病院
this
で一体
hospital.
何があったんですか
Dr. Tambo hesitates for some time, refusing to make eye contact, but she finally shakes
ご
her
めんな
head.
さいこればかりは
I'm
私の
sorry.
一存で話せる事柄じゃないの
This is not a decision I can make on my own.
先生
でも
Doctor,
少しだけ待って
give me some time.
私は私なりにいろいろと調べてみる
I'll do my own
放っておける
investigating
状
now
況
that
じ
I
ゃない
know
の
how
をよ
far
く理
this
解
has
できたか
gone.
ら
お願いします
Please. Koji is out of options. All that's left is to trust this young doctor. It's frustrating, but a friend's rights only go so far.
お互い携帯の番号を交換しておきましょう何か分かったら連絡するわあなたたちも何か新しい動きがあったらすぐに私に教えて
Let's exchange cell phone numbers. I'll call you if I learn anything, and you call me the moment anything changes.
ええわかりました
Okay. So, there's that. We still don't really have a whole lot of information on the things we were confused about before. Song of Saya? Okay, anyway. What happened to me? Yosuke's awareness returns slowly, as though rising from a bog. He's cold. No, hot. Something itches, like tepid tongues and cold slugs crawling over his skin. What's going on? Timidly, he opens his eyes. So my immediate thought is Saya the one who turned Fuminori like this? Was Saya... What's the connect... There's gotta be a connection there. And now Saya is just... Oh, what? It's everywhere. The thing that attacked him in the living room, it's everywhere. Terror shatters Yosuke's sanity. Yeah, felt. He throws off the thing lying atop him, but his wild flailing send him crashing to the floor. But is it really the floor? The long, wriggling fibers of what should be the carpet are winding themselves around his fingers. The floor is made of worms. He tears his limbs free of the worms and tries to stand, but loses his balance and tumbles to the floor again. The worms immediately swarm over his body. Where am I? Where did that thing take me? Yosuke crawls all across the worm-ridden floor toward the only exit from the pulsating room. When he gets outside, however, all I can see is blood, bile, and rotten meat. There is no place to run. What is this? Most terrifying of all, this hellish place has the same layout as Yosuke's house. In a half-mad daze, he wanders through the nightmarish mockery of his home. Oh. In the small room where his studio should be, he finds an easel made of bones, displaying a blood-soaked canvas. Like some cruel joke, everything is exactly where it would be in Yosuke's studio. Let me out! Let me out of here! Howling, Yosuke lashes out against everything within reach. The easel of bone shatters, driving splinters into his fist. He feels the pain, but does not wake from the nightmare. If this isn't a dream, then what is it? When his strength gives out, Yosuke falls to his knees, sobbing. For the first time in his life, he prays. The sound of the door opening and closing grates on his ears. Downstairs, the front door. Is someone else here? We're home! Yosuke trembles at the blood-curdling sound. It's that thing again. The monster has returned. Dad, we're home! Where's dinner? Oh, he's not here? Did he go shopping? When can we eat? Yosuke hears the sound of something slimy sloshing its way up the stairs. Even as he cowers in terror, he slides his trembling hand across the floor and grabs one of the bones from the broken easel. The tip of the bone is nice and sharp. If he holds it in both hands and puts his weight behind it, he might be able to use it to defend himself. Oh. Honey, are you home? The monster's growls are getting closer. Holding his breath, Yosuke presses his back against the wall next to the door. The pounding of his heart is like thunder in his ears, so loud that he fears the creature might hear it. He knows it will eat him if it finds him again, but it's all he can do to keep from crying. At last, the door creaks open. Honey? Oh. Fuminori didn't start attacking people. He was hospitalized and he had time to figure it out, but Yosuke hasn't. That's his wife and kid. Well, Yosuke leaps on the creature as it enters, fear turning into roar as a high-pitched scream. The flesh beast is covered in sludge and vile juices, but before horror can paralyze him, Yosuke brings his bone stake stabbing down. Oh. The monster screams as the stake pierces its chest and punches through to the other side. He falls back, writhing in agony. Yeah, but how did he get it? I think Saya was the one who, inflicts this on people. And she inflicted it on Fuminori just watch. He will eventually see Saya as just a girl. And you know what? Actually, if he sees Fuminori as human still, I might be, like, I might think that maybe Ogai is the doctor who created this sort of thing and made it like this. It falls back, writhing in agony. The sight of its pain sets Yosuke's blood on fire. I can't win. I can kill it. If I finish it off before it enters my head again, I'm safe. Potential, yeah. Yosuke grabs the bone and twists with all his might. The monster convulses and gurgles, its trembling tentacles reaching up as though begging for help. Die, die, die! Yosuke knocks it to the floor, then brings his heel crashing down on its flopping body again and again. With each stomp, its groans and spasms grow weaker. When the monster at last stops twitching, Yosuke, panting hard, tears the stake from its corpse and rises to his feet. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. No. Dad? Something squeals. Oh. No, please don't. Please don't do this. Please, please don't. Please don't. Please. Don't do this. Don't. No. Yosuke turns around to see another smaller monster peeking out at him from the stair landing. There's still one left. His desperate, rage-filled... Oh, no. 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 Be a good streamer. Read your lines, read your lines, read your lines, read your lines. I hate this emotional game we play. I'm crying. His desperate, rage-filled attack both exhilarated him and gave him a taste for violence. This one will be easier. It's smaller and weaker. Grinning maniacally, Yosuke raises his stake and moves toward the second creature. The monster flees, screaming down the stairs. Get out of there, little girl. Not about to let his prey escape, Yosuke roars and gives chase. The thought that killing the monsters might end this nightmare feeds his savage bloodlust. When the monster trips and falls in the dining room, Yosuke leaps on top of it and brings the stake crashing down. His bloodlust unsated, he pulls it free, then drives it into the monster's flesh. Once, twice, 3 times and more until there's nothing left but shredded, pulverized meat. Do we know if when the creatures talk, is Yosuke able to hear them like normal? I think so. It's just that the voice becomes a roar. Like, he can still distinguish what they're saying, but it's really warped and What happened? A lot. I left for like one moment, a lot. Eventually, the only sound in the house is Yosuke's heavy breathing. I think it is disordered, yeah. He has slain 2 monsters, but the nightmare shows no sign of ending. Yosuke staggers to the front door and goes outside. The sky, the city, everything has gone mad. Twisted shapes, nauseating colors, stinking air. There's no escape, no end to the nightmare. The last remnant of Yosuke's sanity vanishes like dust in the wind. Saya! Hi, mister! Yosuke turns to the sound of the girl's voice. She is standing in front of the house next door, wearing a spotless one-piece over her pure white skin. In the midst of this filth-ridden world, she alone glows with beauty. How do I look to you, mister? You're very cute. Yosuke feels like... Oh no, 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 no. Yosuke feels a sudden black lust rise within him.
じゃあ実験は成功かも。
Oh. Really? Then the experiment might be a success. Yosuke walks up to the strangely jubilant girl and brushes his hand against her long,
こ
smooth
んな
hair.
可愛らしい女の子はこの世界には君一人しかいないんだろうね。
Such a lovely girl, you must be the only one in the whole
おじさ
world.
ん
Mister? She looks up at the man towering over her, perhaps disturbed by his
お
hungry
嬢ちゃ
stare.
ん、おじさんと遊んでくれるかい？
How about we play a game,
いいけど
girl?
何するの？
Okay, but what are we going to do? A grin parts Yosuke's lips and he
いや
replies.
もうおじさんが楽しめそうなこと全部さ。
Somebody kill this dude. With that, he... Um... Uh... Not a very big fan. I don't care if she may be the Shock and fear twist the lovely girl's delicate features, stimulating Yosuke's cities, and even after killing those two monsters, the embers of violence still smolder in his heart.
いい顔だよ、お嬢ちゃん。おじさんにもっと可愛らしい顔をして見せてくれないかい？
No. No, thank you. I don't.
いや
Stay away. Even in desperation, she has no hope of outrunning his longer stride. Yosuke charges down the hallway and catches up to her in the kitchen. Sorry for not speaking. I am in shock currently. He grabs her from behind and wrestles her to the floor before she can resist.
話してそんなどうしてなの？
だから言っただろう。お嬢ちゃんが可愛らしすぎるからだって。
I'm not voicing any of this. No, thank you. Can I say no, thank you? Can I, if I'm polite, will you please let her go? Please? Please, I don't want to read that. You can read, Enjoying the sensation of her thin arms struggling futilely against his grip, Yosuke uses his weight to hold her down while ripping off her remaining scraps of clothing.
こんなの嫌！やめて！
Yosuke stares at the smooth, perfect body of the girl flopping beneath him. The thought of violating such an immaculate creature amongst the horrors of this... Yosuke runs... No. Let's not... God, I hate that. Yosuke... No! I'm not reading that.
こんなはずじゃないのに。
No. No. Nuh-uh. ダメだね。やめて、お願いします。やめて。ダメだ。You are a grown man. Please stop. Did someone recommend this game? We should have talked with them. Somebody did recommend this game, actually. I'm hoping Fuminori comes in and is like, hey. A friend recommended this to me. Was like, hey, this is a game that I really like, and I think you'd enjoy it too. I was like, okay. This was a couple years ago. Okay, well, you've had enough time to read that. No, stop, I'm scared, Fuminori! I haven't even done anything yet. Whiskey whispers. No! What a trip, yeah. Okay, stop. Help me, Fuminori. Fuminori, come on! As always, the sights of the city grate on my nerves. Today, however, I don't feel as much hatred as I usually do. I've grown more accustomed to my condition, but that is not the reason for today's high spirits. My search of the Ogai house has finally borne fruit. When I pulled all the drawers out of the desk in the study, I found an envelope stuck between the desk and the wall. It must have fallen off the back of the writing tray. Inside, there were 3 outdoor photographs. I couldn't recognize the scenery due to my condition, but I'm pretty sure that they show 3 buildings. Scrawled on the back of each photo was an address: Nagano Prefecture, M Village, Tochigi Prefecture, S Town, Shizuoka Prefecture, H Town? Can we not? None of the names is familiar, so they must be way out in the countryside. The photos are all dated more than 10 years ago. I don't know why they were taken or what they mean, but maybe Saya will be able to make some sense of them. In any case, this is something that even Saya missed while she was living in that house. I wonder how she'll react when I show her what I found. Saya, I want so badly to see her. The thought of her waiting for me speeds my footsteps. When I step through the gate, I see that the front door is wide open again. This is the second time this has happened. Oh. Upon entering the house this time, however, the sound of Saya crying chills my blood. It's not just her. Oh. There's no time to take off my shoes. I race down the hallway, propelled by a terrifying premonition. Oh, a monster is in my house and it's attacking Saya. The filth oozing from its body spreads across her skin as it moves with animal ferocity. She looks at me with tear-filled eyes and calls my name in a weak, breathless voice. Fuminori, help. Cat's getting comfortable on her bag. Is that its hand? Yeah. Rage erupts inside me like black lava. The monster stops gorging itself on Saya's body and turns its head to look at me. Surprised by my own composure, I slip past it and grab the meat cleaver sitting next to the sink. Without a moment's hesitation, I slash at the monster's face. It screams and staggers away from Saya. My attack must have blinded it because it flails its tentacles wildly as it tries to drive me away. My bloodlust still unsated, I calmly seize one of the appendages and plunge my weapon twice more into its quivering flesh. The blade enters its body with fascinating ease. Each strike sprays my face with its blood. As I carve the monster to pieces and savor its hideous screams, my mind is finally consumed by rage. No mercy. I'll see this monster suffer for what it's done to Saya. I give myself to the fury, howling at the top of my lungs as I slash and slash and slash and slash. Even after the flesh beast stops moving, I keep slashing until I realize it can no longer feel pain. Kick this guy, Fuminori! Yeah! Cursing myself for killing it so quickly, I stab the cleaver into the floor, snapping it in half. When my thoughts finally begin to regain some cohesion, I find myself still digging the broken knife into the floor. The monster is gone, but pieces of it are scattered everywhere. I stop cutting into the tile, and in the sudden silence I hear Saya's faint sobs coming from a corner in the kitchen.
Saya.
I'm so glad she's safe now. I pull the cowering Saya into my arms. She stiffens in fear at first, but as soon as she realizes that it's me, she clings to my body and cries. Aw, I was scared, so scared. I didn't know what to say. I can only keep holding her. This should have never happened to Saya. Everything in this twisted world is to blame. Yes, including myself. I couldn't protect her. If I'd been here, then maybe I could have prevented this. I'm sorry, she says again and again in a voice choked with tears. Not wanting to hear that from her, I pull her head into my chest. Don't say that, Saya. It's not your fault. I try to reassure her, but she shakes her head vigorously in denial. No, it is. I did it. I don't understand. What is she saying? You did what?
この人の頭の中を文則と同じ状態にして文則が感じるのと同じように世界が見えるようにしたの。
I messed with his brain, she answers, glancing at the dismembered monster with her swollen eyes. I made the inside of his brain the same as yours. I made him see the world like you do. It takes me some time to understand the meaning of Saya's words. What? But how? Finally regaining her composure, Saya responds to my confusion in a low voice. I can do stuff like that. I can change the bodies of other living things. I've had this ability since I was born. Every organism is different, so I have to study them in detail before I know how to change them. By doing some research, I figured out what happened to your brain. So I wanted to see if I could do the same thing to someone else. But why? Oh, I thought that if everyone were like you, they could all be kind to me. My heart aches at the loneliness in her voice as she confesses her sorrowful wish. But that man, he wasn't kind at all. He said he wanted to hurt me, break me, and he... She starts crying into my chest again, unable to say any more. I gently rub her back while trying to get my jumbled thoughts together. What is Saya, that she can do such a thing? The answer is beyond me. However, there is one thing that I can answer, here and now. Saya is mistaken. You think that I'm kind to you because of the accident? Yeah, she nods sadly. I smile and shake my head. You're wrong. That was only the beginning. Our relationship is the sum of so much more. The time you and I have spent together, those days, those experiences, are what made us what we are. You've been there for me, Saya, sharing my pain, giving me hope and joy. That's how you became so important to me. See? It's harder than you think. Saya is still crying, but now her tears feel warm against my chest. Yeah, I understand. I finally understand. Her smile shines through her tears. I only have you, Fuminori. There will never be anyone else. Now more than ever before, I feel the depth of the bond between us, and I'm sure that Saya feels it too. I wrap my arms tightly around her and seal her lips with mine. Saya responds, okay, alright, it's getting weird again. Okay, Gabe, you didn't need to write this in. We could have just had a nice wholesome moment and then left it at that, especially with what just, like, happened. Or, like, almost happened to Saya. Okay, can we, like, take a break? Can we give the poor girl a break? Can we give her a break? I don't care what she is. She's gotta be, like, unsettled by that still. Okay, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. At this moment, Saya is my whole world, and I am hers. Yeah, for what just transpired, yeah. The earth turns for us alone. Of course. I still haven't told her of something very important. I don't know why I've never said it before, perhaps because it was always so obvious. However, I should put into words at least once this oath of mine. Saya, I...
待って。
Wait. She stops me with a finger against my lips.
その前に、みのり、一つだけ確かめさせて。
Before that,
あな
Fuminori,
たの望みを。
tell me one thing. What do you want?
僕の望み。
What do I want? Saya nods, staring into my eyes with unusual
さ
solemnity.
っきも言ったけど、私には私にしかできない方法で生き物の体に干渉できる。
Like I said, I can affect the bodies of living things in a way that nothing else
人間
can.
の脳をいじる方法も。
And now that I've learned how to manipulate human brains... Saya pauses and takes a deep breath before continuing.
今ならあなた
I
の
can turn you
頭を
back to normal.
なんだって。
What? Until now, that hasn't even been in the realm of
その
possibility.
人にやったのと逆のことを海のりにしてあげればいいだけ。
I just have to do the opposite of what I did to that man. It's really simple. To not be cursed with gore? That might be good, yeah. I replay Saya's words in my head to be sure of their
だ
meaning.
から海のり、教えて。
So tell me,
あな
Fuminori,
たが昔の暮らしに戻りたいかどうか。
uh,
あの事故で失ったものを取り戻したいのかどうか。
do you want to return to your old life? Do you want to take back what you lost in the accident? Well, with all that's happened at this point, it's cursed, but I don't need it anymore. On that terrible day when I first opened my eyes after the accident, what would my answer have been? When I think back on this many years from now, will I wish that my answer today had been different? It doesn't matter. Here, at this moment, there's no doubt in my mind.
あの人は誰だったんだい。
Who was that? I asked Saya, looking at the unidentifiable pieces of the monster.
隣の家に住んでたおじさん。名前は知らないけど。
The man living next door, I don't know his name.
鈴見さん
Oh,
か。
Mr. Suzumi. He was hardly a stranger. We've been neighbors for as long as I can remember. I'd go so far as to say we were on good terms before the accident. And now I've killed him with my own 2 hands. I feel little. Mr. Suzumi, the kindly painter who lived next door, is but a distant memory. The pieces of meat around me belonged to a creature whose mere existence was nauseating. Only by killing the vermin could I find relief. He complained about my yard being filthy, the swine. Doesn't matter what Saya did, he wasn't worth keeping alive anyway. These are my honest feelings. My hands are wet with another man's blood, and yet I am utterly calm. Now I know what I lost in the accident. Saya says that I can take it back, but I know that I cannot. It is gone forever, like the life of the man called
なさ
Suzumi.
よ。僕の異常を治すことは
Oh.
医者には絶対できないことだったんだ。
Hey, Saya. No doctor could possibly fix my condition, you know?
海のり？
Fuminori?
人間にできないことを簡単にできるっていう君
Oh.
は人間じゃないんだね。
You can do what no human is capable of. You're not human, are you? Saya looks away, her expression unreadable. Everything is monstrous and loathsome in my eyes, everything but Saya. I thought that she was somehow unique. I was wrong. I see her just as I do everything else, as something other than what she really is. But why should that surprise me? Saya is part of my world, just as I am part of hers. It doesn't change what we are to each other. I stand and walk over to Suzumi's dismembered corpse.
昔読んだ漫画でさ、
Oh.
事故から生き返ったせいで世界が当たり前に見えなくなる男の話があった。今の僕みたいにね。
I read this manga once about a man who recovered from an accident, only to find that he could no longer see the world as it was, kind of like me. I finally realized that even though the stench of those monsters' flesh turns my stomach, Their blood and guts smell pretty good. In fact, I know this fragrance
そ
quite
の男の
well.
目には人間が石くれに機械のロボットが美女に見えるんだ
He saw people as rocks and robots as beautiful
だから
women.
男は人とは似ても
And
似
so
つ
he
かない
fell
ロ
in
ボッ
love
トに
with
恋
something
をし
that
てし
wasn't
まうんだ
remotely human. I retrieve the cleaver, pick up a piece of Suzumi's body, and start removing the skin and tendons. Ah, just as I thought. The stuff underneath is exactly the same as what Saya and I have been eating.
まあこれうまそうだし食べちゃおうか
Hey, this looks pretty good. Let's eat it.
おみのり
Fuminori,
ごめん今はそんな気分になれないよね
you're in no mood for that now, are
で
you?
も死んじゃえば
Now that
肉
it's
は
dead
肉
though,
だし
meat is meat. It'd be a waste to throw it away. We should get it in the
あ
fridge.
なたはいいの
Is that alright with
Yeah.
you? Sure, I answer easily. There's no longer any room for doubt in my
あ
mind.
と隣の家に奥さんと娘さんがいるはずなんだ
Also, his wife
旦那
and
がいな
daughter
くな
are
ったら
probably
騒ぐかも
next
しれな
door.
いし
They might cause
通
trouble when he
報され
doesn't
る
come
前に飼
home.
っとこうと思う
We'd better hunt them down before they go to the
そ
police.
んな風であなたはいいの
Is that really what you want? Saya asks again, this time with a trace of fear in her voice. I guess I still haven't convinced her of my
さっき
sincerity.
の漫画の話だとね
Oh.
人でないものを愛した男は最後に自分が人間であることをやめて恋を成就させるんだ
So at the end of this manga, the man who fell for something inhuman gives up his own humanity for the sake of
ハ
their
ッ
love.
ピーエンドだよ
A happy ending, don't you think?
ふみのり
さやと一緒にいられる
You're all
な
I
ら
need now, Saya.
僕はもう何もい
Nothing
らない
else matters as long as we're together.
何もかもこのままでいい
Tossing the knife and meat aside, I pull Saya into my arms once more.
言ってもいいよね
Oh.
さや
Oh.
君のこと
This is kind of
愛
sweet.
してる
This is kind of sweet. There is no time machine back to the past to prevent all this. I think I would pick the same. Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like the correct thing to... Maybe it's not correct. But when you lose that much, and when you develop this connection to something, even if it isn't human, you want to cherish it. You want to hold on to it. You'd miss it dearly. You know? So... yeah, it feels correct. I can say it now, can't I? Saya, I love you. As Saya wipes away the tears flowing from her eyes, I can no longer see any hint of fear in her
あ
face.
なたのこと後悔させたくないのになのに
I don't want you to regret this, I don't, but... I've sworn my oath and Saya has accepted it. We have nothing to fear now. Saya will never need to cry
でも
again.
嬉しい私って身
Aw.
勝手だよね
I can't help it. I'm so happy. I guess I'm pretty selfish,
身
aren't
勝
I?
手でいいよ
I don't mind.
さやのわがままなら聞くよ
I'll always indulge your selfishness. Filled with contentment, we exchange a smile and set to the task of cleaning the room. A single person produces a lot more meat than I expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something
あと
similar
の
before.
2人だけど多分おじさんが殺してる
Hmm.
悲鳴とか
About his
聞こえ
wife
たし
and daughter, I think he killed them. I heard their
そう
screams.
かそりゃ好都合だ
Well, that makes things easier. After we finish here, we should go gather the meat from the Suzumi house. That should be enough to hold us for a while, and we can use the refrigerator to store what won't fit in ours. It's all coming together. Saya and I will be just fine. Ah. Lovely.
この写真知ってる
Ugh, my stomach dropped for a second. I think I recognize this picture. After we finish our labors and get into bed, I show Saya what I found in Ogai's house.
この1枚見覚えがあるよ
It looks familiar. Yeah, I've definitely
確
been
かに
there.
さやの知ってる場所
The photograph that Saya has selected is the one with the Tochigi prefecture address on the back.
家だよね
That's a house, right?
それと
I see trees and
Yeah.
mountains.
そうふみのりすごいね写真も見られるようになった
Wow, Fuminori, you can see pictures now?
まあね
A little. At the outset of my ordeal, I had to depend entirely on my sense of distance to decipher what I saw. The houses in front of me, the mountains far behind them, the clouds high above. Only distance and scale told me what they were. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out.
Recently, however, I've gotten better at understanding what things are by their shape, and I know what the mountains and sky look like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from buildings. Each of the 3 pictures shows a similar scene, a lone house in the middle of a thick forest.
パパはね、別荘だって言ってた。こ
Dad,
こにいれば誰にも見つからないって。
Dad called it his retreat. He said that no one would find us there. Judging by the address on the back of each photo, they probably are excellent places to hide from prying eyes, but why 3? The dates are pretty old, and it seems odd that they were all taken within a few days of each other. Maybe he was scouting properties looking for the perfect location for his hideaway. Saya recognizes only one of the houses, so that must be the one Ogai picked. Checking the location on a road map of the Kanto area, I find that it's about 3 hours out of Tokyo by car.
お父さんがここにいる可能性は
Do you think your father will be there?
電話してみたけど出なかったよ。
I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. I don't think he's there.
でも最近に
But he
立ち
might
寄
have
ったことがあ
stopped
るかも
by
しれないよ
recently. The way I see it, our only hope of finding Ogai is to follow whatever lead we have, no matter how small. The probability that his hideout will yield useful information may be low, but not 0.
明
Ah,
日にで
right.
も行ってみようかなここ
I think I'll check this place out tomorrow. Do you have to? Saya pouts. I wasn't expecting her to object.
でもここ遠いんでしょ？
Isn't it far?
行って調べて帰ってきてもまあ半日もあれば十分さ
It'll only take about half a day to go there, check it out, and come
そ
back.
の間、さやはお留守番なの？
I have to stay home by myself while you're gone? So that's what it is. Slightly exasperated, I smile and rub Saya's
少し
head.
は我慢してくれよなそやだってお父さんのこと見つけたいんだろ
This is kind of sweet. You know what? I'm kind of desensitized to this. This is kind of okay. Be a little patient, okay? You want to find your father too, don't you? After a brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher, Saya looks up at me and
ね
says,
え、ふみのり、
"Oh,
パパのことはもういいよ。
hey, Fuminori, let's forget about Dad." Huh? That's the last thing I expected her to
い
say.
いってでも
Forget about him.
君のお父さんだろ
But he's your father.
心配じゃないのか
Aren't you worried?
いいの。
Not anymore,
私には
Saya says,
もう
coming
ふみ
closer
の
to
り
feel my
がいる
warmth.
し、
I have you now.
パパって言っても
お
本当の意味でのお父さんっていうわけじゃないの。
I call him Dad, but he's not really
さ
my
やのことを
father.
教育してくれたし、
Oh,
ある意味では愛してくれてたのかもしれないけど、
oh.
でもふみのりの方が優しくて
He taught
深い。
he taught me a lot and probably loved me in his own way, but you're kinder and warmer. Saya's words make me happy, but I also hear the loneliness in them.
本当に僕だけでもいいのか
Are you really alright with that?
ふみのり
Yeah.
はいや、
You don't like it
さや
just
と
being
二
the
人
two of
きり
us?
じゃ。
いや
I do, but I also want to meet Dr. Ogai.
そうだな
Having finally figured out how to explain my
Ogai 教授に
feelings,
は会って
I
みたい
continue.
さやのことを
I
も
want
っ
to
と
get
よく
to know
知
you
りたいか
better.
ら
What?
僕
Love
以
me
外
in
に
his
さや
own
のこと
way?
を知って
Huh?
る人がいるならぜひ会ってみたい
If there's someone who knows more about you than I do, I have to meet
うー
them.
ん、そ
Oh.
うなんだ。
Saya doesn't seem upset, but she does tilt her head quizzically, as though my thoughts are strange to
それ
her.
に
Oh.
やっぱり明日この場所に行ってみよ
And I also want to. Yeah, I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Another plan has started to form in my head, one separate from the search for Dr. Ogai. If I find the doctor there, great. If I don't, well, I think I can find another use for his mountain retreat. Oh,
う寂しいかもしれないけど
probably experimented on Saya. Oh, absolutely. I know you'll be lonely, but try to bear it for a little while. Okay, she nods, then looks questioningly
やっ
into my
ぱり
eyes.
ふみのりにはさ、
Oh,
家族とか友達とかもっともっと大勢いた方がいいのかな。
Fuminori, you really want a family and friends, don't you? More people you can spend
そ
time
りゃ
with?
その方が楽しいだろうね
Well, that would be more fun, yeah. Fearing that Saya will start sulking, I
で
hurriedly
も
add.
勘違いしないでくれよ
But don't get me wrong.
たとえ
Even if I
そう
could
いう
have
人た
lots
ちに
of
囲まれ
friends,
て
you'll
暮ら
always
して
be
たとして
special to
も
me. I know.
あり
Thanks.
がと
Giggling, Saya rubs her cheek against
う。
mine.
さやもふみのりが喜びそうなこと、ふみのりのためだけに
I'll
頑張
find
るから
something to
ね。
make you happy. Something just for you.
Today, all of Koji's classes were in the morning. On his way to meet Yul for lunch after his final lecture, Koji suddenly gets a call in the middle of the hallway. Without thinking, he reaches to his belt for his new camera phone, but curses when he realizes the ringtone is coming from the old phone in his bag. He hasn't transferred his contacts list yet, and calls still come to his old phone from people who don't know the new number. When he finally fishes the phone from his bag, the name he sees on the display sends a chill up his spine. Fuminori. Why now? What does he want? It's hard to be happy about a call from Fuminori after the incident at the old guy house. Hello? Hey, Koji. You're done with class for today, right? Yeah. Of course Fuminori would know that Koji is free on Thursday afternoons. I need to talk to you about something. Can you come to the parking lot? Now? Yeah, I'll be waiting. Fuminori hangs up without another word. What's gotten into him? What does he want? Koji wonders as he sticks the phone into his jacket pocket. This sudden change is disturbing after a week of Fuminori avoiding both Koji and Yul. Maybe he's finally ready to talk, in which case Koji should probably consider this a good thing. However, he can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Of course it is. Did I keep you waiting?
Yeah.
Nah. In the parking lot, Koji finds Fuminori leaning against the fender of Koji's car. The last time they met was in the darkness of an abandoned house. This is the first time in over a week that they've spoken face to face in the light. Perhaps that is why Koji senses something strange in Fuminori's expression. He's not sure what exactly, but something has changed. I think I told you before that I'm looking for information on a man called Ogai. Yeah, I got that. Well, it's starting to get more complicated, and it looks like I can't handle it by myself after all. Fuminori seems more relaxed than before. He used to be tense all the time, like he was terrified of something, but now his expression is calm. He's even wearing what resembles a sheepish grin. I need your help, Koji. Nevertheless, some instinct is telling Koji that Fuminori's changes are not for the better. Why the sudden change of heart? Koji asks, keeping his expression neutral to conceal his suspicion. You're curious, aren't you? Fuminori responds coldly. His smile, unreadable as ever, offers no glimpse of his true motives. Why does Fuminori look like that? He just does. You can't just ask people why they look the way they look. You can't just ask that. That's not a thing that you can just... Also, stream is questionable currently. Frames are dropping. Go back up. We're in the yellow, it's fine. You searched Dr. Ogai's house after me. It's a waste of time for us to look for him separately. We should team up. Homie eats meat and sees monsters. I think it's valid. Yeah, me too. Why? Why does he sense malice, thick and vicious, lurking beneath Fuminori's smile? Yeah, he is fair for him to look like that. Yeah, he's a fictional character. I can ask that. No, you cannot. Anyway, I need your car today. Mind driving?
Come on.
I guess not. Fuminori's car was destroyed in the accident, so Koji isn't surprised that he needs a lift. Koji unlocks his car and gestures for Fuminori to take the passenger seat, then gets behind the wheel and starts the engine. Well, where are we going? North Tochigi, near the Nasu Heights. Okay. I am dropping a ton of frames, so what we're gonna do... Oh. Okay, so that saves like that. What's more surprising is that Koji just goes with it. Yes, yeah. Save. 2, 3, 4. 1. Quick save. Okay, so the quick save is there. Okay. I'll save here. Yes. And then... Good grief. Okay. And then we will go ahead and probably stop for the day.
There we go. Let me get the BGM back.
Everything looks okay on this side of this side of the pond. Yeah. Oh, wait. I need to. Okay. I need to readjust things real quick. Hold on. Don't mind me. Just gonna set that there. Get the model size to go down a little bit. Set me in the corner properly. There we go. Same here for this benefit. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Nice 2-hour stream. I think that's good for today.
Thank you for coming by, everybody. I don't really have a whole lot to add on to that. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you take care of yourselves.
You will take care of yourselves, right? Right? That was a stream of time. It was really good, actually. I really like NO UTA. I'm excited to continue it. Anyway,
I will see you guys soon enough. Okay?
love you guys. Okay. Thank you for the stream. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah. See you, Stickman. See you, Don. See you, Charlie, and anybody else who's currently lurking. I'll keep trying. Good. That's all. That's good. That's very good. Anyway, I will not get out of your face.
Goodbye. Bye-bye, Renee. Bye. Thanks for streaming, photo. Of course, alright. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye. Take care of yourselves. Bye. 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 Bye.